And joining us now to talk about how best to proceed with Iran now is Kamran Bokhari, founding director of the Center for Global Policy. We thank you for joining us. The British tanker finally leaving Iran. Is it just a matter of time, though, before there's another escalation or act of aggression?
I think that we should be prepared for escalations because we're in a very difficult environment, one where negotiations are taking place in the back channel while both sides try to leverage pressure. So I think that nothing can be ruled out. I mean, these statements from President Trump and his Iranian counterpart, Hassan Rouhani, they basically illustrate a situation where the negotiation behind the scenes didn't work out, and both sides are trying to claim that, hey, we weren't the ones caving in. It was the other side that was demanding too much.
Kamran, there has still yet to be a response to the attack on the Saudi oil facilities, which Israel, by the way, just yesterday said was ordered by the Iranian supreme leader himself. Do you still expect a military response, or will the U.S. instead continue to pour on the pressure with sanctions?
So the logic of the post sort of attack that the Iranians carried out against Saudi oil facilities is such that right now the Iranians are not feeling, too threatened. They think that they have a lot of leverage. They think that they have gotten away with the attack. And I think what the United States is doing, or has been doing, is say, okay, let's keep the back channels going, and then we'll strike if we have to. Now, if these negotiations behind the scenes do not lead to a breakthrough to where both sides can sit formally and discuss, then I suspect that retaliation will come from the United States.
So should the U.S. even think about easing sanctions at all right now, or would that be interpreted as a sign of weakness by Iran, even though that, in fact, is what they say they want to get them to the table at all?
I think the Iranians want some gesture, and the Americans are telling them, look, you already had an attack, and we have not retaliated for it. So it's time for you to come to the negotiating table, and let's end these games. But you're right. Look, there is no response to the attack. And if the United States lifts some sanctions, then the United States is emboldening Iran, but at the same time also giving away leverage. Maximum pressure is what is forcing the Iranians to entertain the idea of talks. Remember, this regime was not ready to negotiate just a few months ago. But because of the pain of the maximum pressure has been felt, they're inclined to come in, though they are also actively acting in a very bellicose manner, especially with the attack on the Saudi oil facilities.
President Trump today said again that he doesn't want military conflict with Iran. He's offered to discuss things while showing restraint, according to the president. So what happens then if Iran does, in fact, do as they have warned they will do, which is to take another step away from the nuclear deal in November?
So the Iranians are countering the policy of maximum pressure from Washington with their own escalation, whether it's the attack on the oil fields of Saudi Arabia, the attacks on the tankers, or these incremental violations of the nuclear deal. So I think the President Trump and his administration are caught between a rock and a hard place. On one hand, the president's situation is becoming very, very difficult given a variety of factors, especially now with this the drama over the what happened in Ukraine and the conversation with the Ukrainian leadership. The Iranians are looking at that and saying, hey, maybe we don't really need to negotiate just yet. We don't know what's going to happen to this administration, so we can drag our feet. For President Trump, he doesn't want to get involved in a military conflict that may even worsen the situation, and he will have a much weaker hand to play with, both domestically as far as American domestic politics is concerned, but definitely with the Iranians.
All right, Kamran Bokhari, thank you as always for your time. We appreciate it.